This is Schweitzer, and it's a quick little tutorial on gathering the liquids for our iron lab. There's a couple things you'll note here that there is, first of all, 75 milliliters of water. Here is our distilled water on the corner of our table. You'll see our little setup here. A few things we note about this. One, we're going to create an environment where my chemical reaction can occur. So quite often I'll see people measuring with a graduate cylinder, which is perfectly what we want, but they're measuring super close, and of course, when you measure something, you wouldn't want to. Well, when you pour it in, you wouldn't want to pour it back in the container. We never want to pour it back into the container, because if you contaminate it, then you contaminate the entire container. So anyways, what do we want to do here? Well, when I pour this thing, okay, first thing, what I like to do, and I only have one hand here, but I would probably put one hand, my left hand, because I'm right-handed, I'd look at this thing and say, okay, well, I want 75 milliliters, and that's going to be located right here, okay? And then I'm going to keep my hand on there, and I'm going to pour my finger, and I want to probably lift it up, where it's perpendicular. I can see perpendicular across this thing, all right? So at that point, I use my other hand, and I'm going to just pour in, okay? Now that's just water, so we're careful here, but you'll pour in until you get to the point where you are, okay? So when I look at this thing, I might say, okay, well, I didn't quite you can't really see too well here. 75 is right here. You can't see real well because of the video and everything, but you might say, I'm a little off. I'm a little over, a little under. I'm not, 10 milliliters off. Actually, I'm quite a bit up here. That's 75 right there. Okay, and then 80 is located right here, and so I'm at about 85. So maybe I want to pour a little bit out. But again, does it really matter? All I'm doing is creating an environment that this thing can work in. So I might say, with my knowledge of what's going on here, the main component is the iron component. I'm going to just pour this in here, and I think it's okay. Okay. All right. Next up, I'll be very accurate with the limiting reactant, which is the iron. Okay. All right. So next thing I need is 3 different acids. Now these acids, I only have one container here, one Erlenmeyer flask, but you will have 3. Okay. We always run things in 3s. So what do you notice about these acids? Well, there's 3 different acids listed here. I got 6 molar phosphoric acid. I've got 4 molar sulfuric acid, and I have 9 milliliters of 6 molar, actually it's 9 milliliters of 6 molar CL, and this is 4 milliliters of concentrated. So that's all in your workbook, okay? So how does this work? Well, first of all, this setup doesn't always look this way. Sometimes it's in the fume hood, because there's some acids that have significant liability that go with them. They're all concentrated to some extent. This guy in the middle here, the concentrated sulfuric acid, is very caustic. I mean, it's going to eat skin away. So you absolutely would have your goggles on. All right. But either way, I have to do this with water in the container. Okay. I don't want to be carrying these acids across the room. That's a very important thing you have to know. I don't want to pour out my acid in this container and then lug it across the room with all these kids walking around. Absolutely, that's a problem. Okay. I also should be aware of that if I mix these 2 acids together, there's a problem. Okay. They will start to spit, and like you wouldn't believe. So concentrated sulfuric acid, not concentrated 6 molar HCl together generates enough heat to boil the water in the HCl solution, and it will spit out. So we want to make sure that we have the water in this container first. And of course, if you have any questions, just grab me. I prefer just grab me. Hey, Schweitzer, I'm pouring these acids here. Can you just, I'm likely standing by it anyways, and I'm looking for people doing this. Okay. So be aware, as long as we got water in here, we're going to sufficiently dilute it enough that we can then take them and transfer them back. Okay. So all I do is I grab my acid, and we'll say, for example, I have them all they always start clean, but people start using them and they start leaving. Be aware of the environment that you leave behind.
okay? Be aware. Do not leave stuff lay out. Everything is there, very particular for it, and you leave it, please, there in the same manner. So if I want to get this guy, okay, this is the phosphoric acid. Simply grab yourself this guy and put your finger at the level that you're looking for. Okay, it's hard to see because of the resolution here. But at that point, grab your beaker and pour into the top of this thing and up to the line that where your finger's located. I do mine at sort of perpendicular. Okay, I don't like leaning down and putting my arms on this railing or on the fume hood, because if there's stuff on this level here and it gets on your arms, well, it happened to me when I was in college, and many years later I still remember it. So anytime you get some of these acids on you, on your fingers or whatever, then you can just simply go over and wash them off. No big deal. Okay. If you wipe on your clothes, you'll have some holes in your clothes. But our main concern here is our eyes. And you must have goggles on, okay? Skin can grow back to some extent, but your eyes cannot, okay? Again, mix each one mix them, fill each one. As long as there's water in the container, you'll have no problems, okay? Other than that, be aware of this particular aspect of the lab. Thank you.